Hey everybody, it's Showan representing another episode of Cyrils Brettspiele. Many of us have heard stories of pirates who lived their lives at sea, pillaging, plundering, and killing those unlucky enough to encounter them. After doing thorough research, examining the memoirs of some of history's most famous pirates, Mayday Games has discovered that pirates were actually crazy about card games. Through careful collaboration with expert historians and talented game designers, Mayday brings us Dead Man's Draw, a 2 to 4 player press your luck card game. Join me for the next few minutes and I'll show you how it's played. This is a typical 3-player game. Each player has the cards they've collected forming their bank, and a character trait card which gives them a special ability to use throughout the game. Now on a player's turn, they're going to take the top card from the draw deck and put it into the play area. Now the idea is whenever a card enters the play area, by any means, you have to activate its suit ability if at all possible. On your turn, you can decide at any time whether you want to keep drawing another card, or you can stop and collect the cards that you've amassed in the play area. If you draw 2 of the same card, you have 2 of the same ones sitting in the play area, then you bust, you discard all of them, and you collect nothing. So Madame Margot over here, she's going to start us off. Her first card is a cannon. Now the cannon destroys the top value card in another player's suit stack. Scurvy Pete over here has a 7 anchor, which is worth a lot of points. Now all he's going to score is 3 points for anchors. Okay, Madame Margot draws her second card, the map. So the map causes you to shuffle the discard pile, and then you draw the top 3 cards and choose one to play into the play area. Let's see here. I think we'll go for the key and hope that Madame Margot can get a chest in here. Let's see, the next one, a hook. So the hook means you have to choose a card from one of your suit stacks and put it into the play area. Let's see, Madame Margot, what does she have that's going to help? Really, there's not much here. She has a sword. Actually, here's an example of the kind of tactical decision that you can make in this game. So the sword is kind of like the hook. It allows you to take a card from another player's suit stack and put it into the play area. So what Madame Margot can do is take another card from Scurvy Pete, the chest. The chest and the key work together in the sense that they allow you to collect as many cards from the discard pile, that you've got in the play area. In this case, she has 6. Let's stop right there and collect 6 here. And then 6 from the discard pile are also going to go in her collection. So these are all worth points. I'm not going to bother arranging them into piles, but normally you'd put the higher values on top. There you go. That's one turn. Scurvy Pete is up, and he is going to draw his first card, the mermaid. That's a nice card because mermaids have no suit ability. They're typically worth more points because of the higher value. Alright, Scurvy Pete, you want to keep going? Arr, give me another card, you scurvy dog! Okay, settle down there, buddy. See, the next one, a chest. Okay, hopefully you can get a key. Look at that. I didn't stack this deck, I swear. That just happened naturally. So if Scurvy Pete collects, which I think he's going to do because of that beating that he took, got 2 cards already gone, this is a good haul. So because there's 3 here, he's going to collect 3 from the discard pile. Alright, let's put that there. 1, 2, 3. These are going to be worth points. Okay, let's do that. Do that. Okay. Now, Le Corsaire. I think that's how you say it. I'm not French. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. Whatever. Le Corsaire's first card. The Oracle. I like the Oracles because they let you peek at the next card and then decide whether you want to keep going or not. In this case, yes, a cannon. You know what? That level 7 key that Scurvy Pete just got? Alright, it's gone. Why is everybody picking on Pete today? I don't know. Let's draw another card. The hook. I said the hook allows you to take a card from another person's play area and put it into here. Let's see. You know what? Let's keep the mermaid because then hopefully Le Corsaire can get that. What do you say? You want to keep going? Let's keep going! Good job, you're a trooper. Alright, one more card. Let's see. Nice. I also like the anchors because now if Le Corsaire busts, all the cards that come before the anchor are going to be protected. Let's draw one more because we got nothing to lose now. Alright, that would have been a bust, and normally all these cards would go because of this other cannon here, but these are protected. The Corsair gets to add these to his play area, or sorry, his bank. These are gone, and now we're back to Madame Margot. So that's the nature of the game. It's going to keep going. Players take turns until this draw pile is empty. Once that's empty, you're going to look at all of the suit stacks that players have, and you're going to score points for the most valuable card in those piles. And then you add the points up, and whoever's got the most wins. That's how you play it. My favorite thing about this game is all the tension and the excitement. It's tense when you're flipping over cards and you're wondering if you're going to bust. Things get even more tense if you draw a card like the Kraken, which forces you to draw another couple of cards, and then you're just hoping and hoping and hoping you don't get something that's already out in the play area. On the other hand, you draw that Oracle and you feel relieved because now you can see what's coming, and then you can decide whether or not you want to collect. So really, you're all over the place, while at the same time your opponents are just sitting there rooting for you to fail. I love it. I really enjoy how some of the cards allow you to potentially chain combinations together. For example, I might draw a sword card, which makes me take a card from an opponent's bank, and then I gotta put that in the play area and activate its ability. So then at that point I'm wondering, okay, what can I take from my opponent that's gonna benefit me the most in this situation? It's not like the decisions are very deep, but they're there, and for the kind of game that this is, it's a good level of strategy there. Also, the rulebook I thought was very well written. There are a lot of abilities and character traits in this game, and I think the rulebook does an excellent job at describing them in great detail, and it even offers examples on how they interact within the game. Mayday took the time to include this information in the rulebook so that you shouldn't have any questions at all when you're playing the game. I absolutely love that. Excellent job. Now with all that being said, this is definitely a filler game. I've heard some comments from some people say that there is a lot to remember for such a simple game. Having to remember each suit ability and what they do might bother some people. I don't think it's an issue. The game comes with summary cards, which you'll find very useful your first couple times through. And after you've played this game like 3 or 4 times, you'll have everything memorized just because of the nature of the repetition of the game. The same things keep coming up. It's not going to be a problem. The thing that I found hardest to remember was the character traits. And the reason being, the icons on those cards are not very intuitive. There's been a lot of times I'm just sitting there looking like, what the heck is this trying to say? But again, the summary card describes everything perfectly, so you shouldn't have any issue there either. Speaking of the character traits, I have mixed feelings about them. Yes, they do add another level of depth to the game, but I find that some of the abilities, they just happen more frequently than others. One might happen a couple times in a game, and then some other abilities seem to happen more frequently. I don't know if there's any abilities that have a major impact on the final score, but then again, I haven't really sat down and analyzed them. Honestly, I think you could just throw them all out, just forget about them, and it wouldn't have a negative effect on the game. Now the box says that this is a 2 to 4 player game. I found the sweet spot with 3. If you play with 2 players, I just find the choices a little less interesting because all your decisions, you have to attack the other opponent. With 4 people, I find that there's just a slight bit of downtime because really, when one person's drawing the cards, the others are just sitting there and maybe throwing out the odd curse at the person who's drawing the cards, just causing them to bust. The sweet spot I think is with 3 because the game flows really well, it's fast paced, there's no downtime, it just seems to flow better. Now, there is a variant listed in the rules that says you can play this game with up to 8 people if you combine 2 copies of the game. Now if anybody has tried that, please post it in the comments below because I'd love to read about that. Dead Man's Draw packs a lot of tension and excitement into a tiny little box. It's a great filler game that you can play in 10 to 15 minutes. I don't think you'd play this game longer than that, otherwise it might overstay its welcome. If you're not big on filler games, or if you want something with a little bit more complexity, honestly I wouldn't even bother with this one. But if you like a light filler game that you can play with non-gamers and get them engaged quickly, not a lot of rules to sit there and figure out, then I'd certainly recommend it. It's a good combination of randomness, strategy, entertainment, and duration. That's Dead Man's Draw. You okay? Good? Give me some skin, brother. Yeah!